Part number 3, the profit VSL framework. After studying hundreds of high-converting VSLs and synthesizing the best elements from every proven framework, we have distilled the ultimate VSL into 7 core blocks. Every block has a specific psychological job. Miss one and you leave money on the table. Number 1, the hook. This should be 0 to 15 seconds. You need to grab attention, identify your ideal viewer, and create a gap. This is where you win or you lose 80% of your results. Your hook must pass the scroll test. Would someone stop scrolling to watch this? So if this wasn't a VSL, if this was an Instagram reel or TikTok and people were scrolling, if they heard that, would they pay attention or would they say, oh, and they scroll down? Okay? So you need to grab their attention, identify the ideal viewer, and create a gap. Okay, this is huge. Number 2, proof, intro, and transformation claim, 15 to 60 seconds. You need to state exactly what you do in one clear sentence. Then immediately stack social proof, results, credentials, associations to back up your bold claim before the BS meter goes off. In my VSL, I say, do you want to get to this outcome, right? And then I say, I'm an investor in Skool.com. I'm the founder of AchieveGreatness.com. I'm the founder of CreateRepreneur.com. I won this competition. I helped this client get this result. I got people this many millions of dollars. Here's the proof. Here's the screenshot. I just show them third-party proof, social credit, associations, leverage, client results, testimonials, case studies, everything I can to back up what I just promised. To back up your bold claim before the BS meter goes up. Because if you start by saying, hey, this is like you grab the attention, you talk about who they are, the ideal viewer, you create the gap of what result you're going to help them, they already don't trust you because it sounds too good to be true. So you need to immediately show proof so they're less skeptical, so they lean in, and now we can go into the pains. Okay? So step number 2, you do proof, intro, and transformation claim. Set exactly what you do in one clear sentence and start immediately stacking as much proof as possible. Number 3, the pain deep dive, 1 to 3 minutes. You need to dive extremely deep into their pain. You do not just name the problem, you describe what it feels like. This is what I didn't get for a very long time, by the way. This is where I messed up. This is what you need to, for example, instead of saying, hey, you don't get enough leads, you can say, you don't get enough leads, and every day that you open your calendar and you look at the next day to see if you have any sales calls, you see that there's nothing, and you feel like your business is going to plateau and go down. You are not going to get any more clients anymore, or enough clients to actually scale your business to 7 figures or 8 figures. So now not only I described the problem, but I said how it feels like, right? It became a story. You open your calendar, you look at it. So like instead of, hey, you are overweight, you can say, you look into the mirror and you don't like what you see, right? Like it is more specific, and it describes the experience of what it feels like. So describe what it feels like, looks like, and cost them in vivid, specific details. This creates the gap between where they are and where they want to be. So you go deep into the pains. Again, what pains? Pains that make your dream clients buy. How do you know them? You look at what made them buy, and you start with the pain that made most of them buy. If 80% of them had this pain, you start there. If 20% here and 10% here. Number 4, your unique mechanism. Introduce your proprietary method, so your unique method of the how and how it is different from everyone else. Explain the what, not the how. Make it scientific sounding and non-Googleable. Back each step with targeted social proof. So, for example, if you watch my VSL, I never say, so here's the profit system, and I explain every single letter and all of our methods. No, I just say, this is the profit system. P stands for personal brand engine, right? Personal brand growth engine. I don't say all the YouTube trainings, Instagram training, content formats, I don't explain all of that. So it works. And you want to name it in a way that people can't Google it, because if you Google the profit system, you'll see me. If you go to CreateRepreneur.com, it will go to me, not to someone else. Because this way you create intellectual viral word of mouth where people tell other people about CreateRepreneur profit system and leads back to you. Don't go and like copy it and then come and say this is my mechanism, because people then will Google it and see who is the real person that created it, and now they will go and trust that person more instead of you. Next, the offer and value stack. present free options, do nothing, go elsewhere, or work with you, because these are usually the free trees of people considering after they watch a VSL. They think, oh, basically want to call out what are people's options, because people's options are free. They do nothing after watching the VSL. They watch the VSL, but they say, you know what, I'm going to go do more research, work with someone else, or they actually apply and they work with you. These are the free choices. So I want to call that out to simplify their decision tree for them, okay? So then you value stack everything they get with real comparable pricing for each component. Make the total value dramatically exceed your price. Okay, we talked about this in the offer module. Objection demolition, FAQ section, 2 to 5 minutes. Address every single objection in their own language. Use the 4-step loop, what they think, why it's wrong, what's actually right, and proof. Cycle through all the major objections. This is huge. Address what they think, why it's wrong, what is right, prove that it's right. This is how you handle objections. Number 7, CTA and proof role, 30 to 60 seconds. You need to have clear single call to action, walk them through exactly what to do step by step, then add a proof role, stack testimonials that play with the CTA stays on screen. Tell them that concludes the video, what follows just more success stories, watch if you'd like, they will watch all of them. So basically at the end you want to say, hey, by the way, here's all of the results, and you just show as much results as possible, and you can tell them that they can skip or stick to the end if they want. So I've done that in my VSL too. If you watched it already, maybe I will link it down below as well. Our VSL, our offer doc, so you can see how we prehandle objections in our offer doc, the FAQ sections, right? How in our VSL we do this, and how, like everything I'm talking about basically, so you can implement it. My VSL is a bit long. You need to do it on a shorter side of this. So like if it says 15 seconds, 15 seconds, if this says 3 to 8 minutes, you should spend 3 minutes. 2 to 4, you should spend 2. 2 to 5, the simpler, shorter it is, the better, okay? So that's for the FAQ. Again, this is super, super important. And go through this step by step, follow this process. This is going to make you a $1 million VSL. And number 7, CTA and proof role. Again, you give as much proof as possible. That's what I've done in the end of my VSL. There's like, in my first VSL, I attached 1 hour of video testimonials, right? In my second VSL, I cut most of it. I put like 20 minutes of the best stuff, right? And I let people know, hey, now, even more proof I'm going to show you. If you want, go and apply, but if you want to stick around and watch. And then people go and watch it as well. Ideal length for high-ticket offers with sales call, 8 to 20 minutes is the sweet spot. For low-ticket direct purchases, 5 to 12. For pre-call warming VSLs, 3 to 7. The length should match how much information the prospect needs to make a decision. If people currently need 3 calls to close, your VSL needs to be longer. If your offer is well understood, then it can be shorter. Now, a lot of these trainings are available for free with all of the templates, AI tools, private feedback for you to be able to implement in your business. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So if you're interested, the link will be down below in the description and you can apply to join there.